In Norse mythology, Ragnarök paragraph K is a series of future events, including a great battle foretold to ultimately result in the death of a number of major figures, the occurrence of various natural disasters, and the subsequent submersion of the world in water. Afterward, the world will resurface anew and fertile, the surviving and returning gods will meet, and the world will be repopulated by two human survivors. Ragnarök paragraph K is an important event in the Norse canon, and has been the subject of scholarly discourse and theory. The event is attested primarily in the Poetic Edda, compiled in the 13th century from earlier traditional sources, and the Prose Edda, written in the 13th century by Snorri Sturluson. In the Prose Edda, and a single poem in the Poetic Edda, the event is referred to as Ragnarök paragraph K or Ragnarök KKR, a usage popularized by 19th-century composer Richard Wagner with the title of the last of his Der Ring der Nibelungen operas, Gar paragraph Tterda Currency. Etymology: the Old Norse word Ragnarök is a compound of two words. Ragnar means conjure, and is used metonymically to refer to beings, most notably creator gods, who possess the power of conjuring as an attribute. The second word, Ra paragraph K, has several meanings, such as development, origin, cause, relation, fate. The traditional interpretation is that prior to the merging of and in Icelandic the word was rock, derived from Proto-Germanic Ragnarök. The word Ragnarök paragraph K as a whole is then usually interpreted as the final destiny of the gods. In 2007, Haraldur Bernharður Degreason proposed that the original form of the second word in the compound is Ra-K, leading to a Proto-Germanic reconstruction of Requa and opening up other semantic possibilities. In stanza 39 of the Poetic Edda poem Lokasenna, and in the Prose Edda, the form Ragnarök K appears, Ra-K, K, meaning twilight. Ragnar means conjure, Roekrs means caring. It has often been suggested that this indicates a misunderstanding or a learned reinterpretation of the original form Ragnarök paragraph K. Haraldur Bernharður Degreason argues instead that the words Ragnarök paragraph K and Ragnarök KK are closely related, etymologically and semantically, and suggests a meaning of renewal of the divine powers. Usage of this form was popularized in modern popular culture by 19th-century composer Richard Wagner by way of the title of the last of his Der Ring der Nibelungen operas, Gar paragraph Tterda Currency. Other terms used to refer to the event surrounding Ragnarök paragraph K in the Poetic Edda include Alder Ra paragraph K from stanza 39 of Vafar 3/4 Ra degree Nismael, Tavar Ra paragraph K from stanzas 38 and 42 of Vafar 3/4 Ra degree Nismael, a 3/4 or Regin Dager from Vafar 3/4 Ra degree Nismael stanza 47, Uns Amar Ja Fast Regin from Vafar 3/4 Ra degree Nismael stanza 52, Lokasenna stanza 41, and Seijdra Fumael stanza 19, Alder Ra from Helgakvia degree Hundings Banner 2 stanza 41, Regin a 3/4 a Ja cube tar from Heimdallr cubed a degree stanza 42, and, in the Prose Edda, a 3/4 a Muspelt Sinir Hejar can be found in chapters 18 and 36 of Gylfaginning. Attestations, Poetic Edda. The Poetic Edda contains various references to Ragnarök paragraph K, var paragraph Luspa. In the Poetic Edda poem var paragraph Luspa, references to Ragnarök paragraph K begin from stanza 40 until 58, with the rest of the poem describing the aftermath. In the poem, a var paragraph Lva recites information to Odin. In stanza 41, the var paragraph Lva says, the var paragraph Lva then describes 3 roosters crowing. In stanza 42, the jar paragraph Tun herdsman Edk the copywriter sits on a mound and cheerfully plays his harp while the crimson rooster Ala crows in the forest Gar Lgvia degree Rialma. The golden rooster Gulinkmbi crows to the Aesir in Valhalla, and the third, unnamed soot red rooster crows in the halls of the underworld location of Hell in stanza 43. After these stanzas, the var paragraph Lva further relates that the hound Garmr produces deep howls in front of the cave of Gnipalar. Garmr's bindings break and he runs free. The var paragraph Lva describes the state of humanity. The sons of Marem are described as being at play, though this reference is not further explained in surviving sources. Heimdallr raises the Gjallarhorn into the air and blows deeply into it, and Odin converses with Marem's head. The world tree Yggdrasil shudders and groans. The Jar paragraph Tunram comes from the east, his shield before him. The midget Serpent Jar paragraph Ramungan furiously writhes, causing waves to crash. The eagle shrieks, pale-beaked he tears the corpse, and the ship Nagla breaks free thanks to the waves made by Jormungand and sets sail from the east. The Fire Jar paragraph Tnar inhabitants of Muspelheim come forth. The Var paragraph Lva continues that Jar paragraph Tungheim, the land of the Jar paragraph Tnar, is a Ra, and that the Aesir are in council. The dwarves groan by their stone doors. Suatr advances from the south, his sword brighter than the sun. Rocky cliffs open and the Jar paragraph Tnar women sink. People walk the road to hell and the heavens split apart. The gods then to battle with the invaders. Odin is swallowed whole and alive fighting the Wolfina, causing his wife Frigg her second great sorrow. Odin's son Vardagriar avenges his father by rending Fina's jaws apart and stabbing it in the heart with his spear, thus killing the wolf. The Serpent Jar paragraph Ramungand opens its gaping maw, yawning widely in the air, and is met in combat by Thor. Thor, also a son of Odin and described here as protector of the earth, furiously fights the serpent, defeating it, but Thor is only able to take 9 steps afterward before collapsing. The god Freyr fights Suatr and loses. After this, people flee their homes, and the sun becomes black while the earth sinks into the sea, the stars vanish, steam rises, and flames touch the heavens. The Var paragraph Lva sees the earth reappearing from the water, and an eagle over a waterfall hunting fish on a mountain. The surviving Aesir meet together at the field of Ea de Grieva paragraph LLR. They discuss Jar paragraph Ramungand, great events of the past, and the runic alphabet. In stanza 61, in the grass, they find the golden game pieces that the gods are described as having once happily enjoyed playing games with long ago. The re-emerged fields grew without needing to be sown. The gods Har paragraph a degree Riyama and Bald return from hell and live happily together. The Var paragraph Lva says that the god Hana chooses wooden slips for divination, and that the sons of 2 brothers will widely inhabit the windy world. She sees a hall thatched with golden Jimla copyright, where nobility will live and spend their lives pleasurably. Stanza 65, found in the Hawksby K version of the poem, refers to a powerful, mighty one that rules over everything, and who will arrive from above at the court of the gods, which has been interpreted as a Christian addition to the poem. In stanza 66, the Var paragraph Lva ends her account with a description of the dragon Nardagri Har paragraph Ggr, corpses in his jaws, flying through the air. The Var paragraph Lva then sinks down. It is unclear if stanza 66 indicates that the Var paragraph Lva is referring to the present time or if this is an element of the post-Ragnarök paragraph K world. The Var 3/4 Ra degree Nismael. The Vanir god Nja paragraph Ra degree Riyama is mentioned in relation to Ragnarök paragraph K in stanza 39 of the poem Var 3/4 Ra degree Nismael. In the poem, Odin, disguised as Gagnra equal or more than degree Riyama faces off with the wise Jar paragraph Tun Var 3/4 Ra degree in a battle of wits. Var 3/4 Ra degree Nismael references Nja paragraph Ra degree Riyama's status as a hostage during the earlier Aesir Vanir war, and that he will come back home among the wise Vanir at the doom of men. In stanza 44, Odin poses the question to the Var 3/4 Ra degree as to who of mankind will survive the famous Fimbulve. The Var 3/4 Ra degree responds in stanza 45 that those survivors will be Leif and La Var 3/4 Racer, and that they will hide in the forest of Hodma Misholt, that they will consume the morning dew, and will produce generations of offspring. In stanza 46, Odin asks what sun will come into the sky after Fina has consumed the sun that exists. The Var 3/4 Ra degree responds that Zar-Cubed-El will bear a daughter before Fina assails her, and that after Ragnarök paragraph K this daughter will continue her mother's path. In stanza 51, the far 3/4 Ragnarøkkr states that, after Surtr's flames have been sated, Odin's sons Vardagrya and Vali will live in the temples of the gods, and that Thor's sons Markubdagrya and Magni will possess the Hamamjolnir. In stanza 52, the disguised Odin asks the Jar paragraph ton about Odin's own fate. The far 3/4 Ragnarøkkr responds that the wolf will consume Odin, and that Vardagrya will avenge him by sundering its cold jaws in battle. Odin ends the duel with one final question: what did Odin say to his son before preparing his funeral pyre? With this, the far 3/4 Ragnarøkkr realizes that he is dealing with none other than Odin, whom he refers to as the wisest of beings, adding that Odin alone could know this. Odin's message has been interpreted as a promise of resurrection to Bald after Ragnarök paragraph K. Helgakvia Hundingsbanner 2, Ragnarök paragraph K is briefly referenced in stanza 40 of the poem Helgakvia Hundingsbanner 2. Here, the Valkyrie Sigra ends unnamed maid passing the deceased hero Helgi Hundingsbane's burial mound. Helgi is there with a retinue of men, surprising the maid. The maid asks if she is witnessing a delusion since she sees dead men riding, or if Ragnarök paragraph K has occurred. In stanza 41, Helgi responds that it is neither. Prose Edda, Snorri Sturluson's Prose Edda quotes heavily from Var paragraph Luspa and elaborates extensively in prose on the information there, though some of this information conflicts with that provided in Var paragraph Luspa. Gylfaginning chapters 26 and 34. In the Prose Edda book Gylfaginning, various references are made to Ragnarök paragraph K. Ragnarök paragraph K is first mentioned in chapter 26, where the throne figure of High, king of the hall, tells Gangleri some basic information about the goddess Edda, including that her apples will keep the gods young until Ragnarök paragraph K. In chapter 34, High describes the binding of the wolf Fina by the gods, causing the god Tar one half to lose his right hand, and that Fina remains there until Ragnarök paragraph K. Gangleri asks High why, since the gods could only expect destruction from Fina, they did not simply kill Fina once he was bound. High responds that the gods hold their sacred places and sanctuaries in such respect that they chose not to defile them with the wolf's blood, even though the prophecies foretold that he would be the death of Odin. As a consequence of his role in the death of the god Baldr, Loki is bound on top of 3 stones with the internal organs of his son Navi in 3 places. There, venom drops onto his face periodically from a snake placed by the Jar paragraph ton Skordagri, and when his wife Sigyn empties the bucket she is using to collect the dripping venom, the pain he experiences causes convulsions, resulting in earthquakes. Loki is further described as being bound this way until the onset of Ragnarök paragraph K. Gylfaginning chapter 51. Chapter 51 provides a detailed account of Ragnarök paragraph K interspersed with various quotes from Var paragraph Luspa, while chapters 52 and 53 describe the aftermath of these events. In chapter 51, High states the first sign of Ragnarök paragraph K will be Fimbulve, during which time 3 winters will arrive without a summer, and the sun will be useless. High details that, prior to these winters, 3 earlier winters will have occurred, marked with great battles throughout the world. During this time, greed will cause brothers to kill brothers, and fathers and sons will suffer from the collapse of kinship bonds. High then quotes stanza 45 of Var paragraph Luspa. Next, High describes that the wolf will first swallow the sun, and then his brother the moon, and mankind will consider the occurrence as a great disaster resulting in much ruin. The stars will disappear. The earth and mountains will shake so violently that the trees will come loose from the soil, the mountains will topple, and all restraints will break, causing Fina to break free from his bonds. High relates that the great Serpent Jar paragraph Ramungand, also described as a child of Loki in the same source, will breach land as the sea violently swells onto it. The ship Nagla, described in the Prose Edda as being made from the human nails of the dead, is released from its mooring, and set sail on the surging sea, steered by a Jar paragraph ton named Rim. At the same time, Fina, eyes and nostrils spraying flames, charges forward with his mouth wide open, his upper jaw reaching to the heavens, his lower jaw touching the earth. At Finar's side, Jar paragraph Ramungand sprays venom throughout the air and the sea. During all of this, the sky splits into two. From the split, the sons of Muspel ride forth. Suatia rides first, surrounded by flames, his sword brighter than the sun. Hai says that Muspel's sons will ride across Bifra paragraph St, described in Gylfaginning as a rainbow bridge, and that the bridge will then break. The sons of Muspel advance to the field of Vargradagri described as an expanse that reaches 100 leagues in each direction, where Fina, Jar paragraph Ramungand, Loki, and Ram join them. While this occurs, Heimdallr stands and blows the Gjala horn with all his might. The gods awaken at the sound, and they meet. Odin rides to Malmir's well in search of counsel from Malmir. Yggdrasil shakes, and everything, everywhere fears. Hai relates that the Aesir and the Einherjar dress for war and head to the field. Odin, wearing a gold helmet and an intricate coat of mail, carries his spear Gungnir and rides before them. Odin advances against Fina, while Thor moves at his side, though Thor is unable to assist Odin because he has engaged Jar paragraph Ramungand in combat. According to Hai, Freyr fiercely fights with Suatir, but Freyr falls because he lacks the sword he once gave to his messenger, Skirnir. The Hangarma breaks free from his bonds in front of Kneipala, and fights the god Tar 1/2 resulting in both of their deaths. Thor kills Jar paragraph Ramungand, yet is poisoned by the serpent, and manages to walk 9 steps before falling to the earth dead. Fina swallows Odin, though immediately afterward his son Vardagria kicks his foot into Fina's lower jaw, grips Fina's upper jaw, and rips apart Fina's mouth, killing Fina. Loki fights Heimdallr, and the two kill one another. Suatir covers the earth in fire, causing the entire world to burn. Hai quotes stanzas 46 to 47 of Var paragraph Luspa, and additionally stanza 18 of Var 3/4 Ra de Green Ismael. Gylfaginning chapters 52 and 53. At the beginning of chapter 52, Gangleri asks, "What will be after heaven and earth and the whole world are burned? All the gods will be dead, together with the Einherjar and the whole of mankind. Didn't you say earlier that each person will live in some world throughout all ages?" A figure of third, seated on the highest throne in the hall, responds that there will be many good places to live, but also many bad ones. Third states that the best place to be is Jimla copyright in the heavens, where a place exists called Okolnir that houses a hall called Brimira Euro, where one can find plenty to drink. Third describes a hall made of red gold located in near degree AFJA paragraph LL called Sindri, where good and virtuous men will live. Third further relates an unnamed hall in Nastra paragraph ND, the beaches of the dead, that he describes as a large repugnant hall facing north that is built from the spines of snakes, and resembles a house with walls woven from branches. The heads of the snakes face the inside of the house and spew so much venom that rivers of it flow throughout the hall, in which oath-breakers and murderers must wade. Third here quotes Var paragraph Luspa stanzas 38 to 39, with the insertion of original prose stating that the worst place of all to be is in Vjalmir, followed by a quote from Var paragraph Luspa to highlight that the dragon Nardagri Har paragraph Ggia harasses the corpses of the dead there. Chapter 53 begins with Gangleri asking if any of the gods will survive, and if there will be anything left of the earth or the sky. Hai responds that the earth will appear once more from the sea, beautiful and green, where self-sown crops grow. The field Ea degree Ava paragraph LLR exists where Asgard once was, and, there, untouched by Suatir's flames, Vardagria and Varli reside. Now possessing their father's Hermunjolnir, Thor's sons Markubdadagri and Magni will meet them there, and, coming from Hel, Baldr, and Har paragraph a degree Riama also arrive. Together, they all sit and recount memories, later finding the gold game pieces the Aesir once owned. Var paragraph Luspa stanza 51 is then quoted. Hai reveals that two humans, Laf and Lafar 3/4 Racer, will have also survived the destruction by hiding in the wood Hodma Misholt. These two survivors consume the morning dew for sustenance, and from their descendants the world will be repopulated. Befar 3/4 Ra Green Ismael stanza 45 is then quoted. The personified son, Zar-Qubdel, will have a daughter at least as beautiful as she, and this daughter will follow the same path as her mother. Befar 3/4 Ra Green Ismael stanza 47 is quoted, and so ends the foretelling of Ragnarök paragraph K in Gylfaginning. Archaeological record. Various objects have been identified as depicting events from Ragnarök paragraph K. Thor's Cross, a partially surviving runestone erected at Kirk Andreas on the Isle of Man, depicts a bearded human holding a spear downward at a wolf, his right foot in its mouth, while a large bird sits at his shoulder. Rundata dates it to 940, while Pluskowski dates it to the 11th century. This depiction has been interpreted as Odin, with a raven or eagle at his shoulder, being consumed by Fenrir at Ragnarök paragraph K. On the other side of the stone is a depiction of a large cross and another image parallel to the Odin figure that has been described as Christ triumphing over Satan. These combined elements have led to the crosses being described as syncretic art, a mixture of pagan and Christian beliefs. Gosforth Cross. The Gosforth Cross, in Cumbria, England, is a standing cross of a typical Anglo-Saxon form, carved on all sides of the long shaft, which is nearly square in section. Apart from panels of ornament, the scenes include a Christian crucifixion, and possibly another scene in hell, but the other scenes are generally interpreted as narrative incidents from the Ragnarök paragraph K story, even by a scholar as cautious of such interpretations as David M. Wilson. The Ragnarök paragraph K battle itself may be depicted on the north side. The cross features various figures depicted in boar style, including a man with a spear facing a monstrous head, one of whose feet is thrust into the beast's forked tongue and on its lower jaw, while the other is placed against its upper jaw, a scene interpreted as Vardagria fighting Fenrir. Berg Stone. The 11th century Berg Stone in Sweden, similarly to Thor's Cross, features a figure with his foot at the mouth of a four-legged beast, and this may also be a depiction of Odin being devoured by Fenrir at Ragnarök paragraph K. Below the beast and the man is a depiction of a legless, helmeted man, with his arms in a prostrate position. The younger Futhuk inscription on the stone bears a commonly seen memorial dedication, but is followed by an encoded runic sequence that has been described as mysterious, and an interesting magic formula which is known from all over the ancient Norse world. Skarpa stone. On the early 11th century Skarpa stone, from Tsar paragraph Domanland, Sweden, a father grieving his dead son used the same verse form as in the Poetic Edda in the following engraving. Jansen notes that at the time of the inscription, everyone who read the lines would have thought of Ragnarök paragraph K and the allusion that the father found fitting as an expression of his grief. Theories and interpretations. Cyclical time. Rudolf Siemck theorizes that the survival of Laf and Lafar 3/4 racer at the end Ragnarök paragraph K is a case of reduplication of the anthropogeny, understandable from the cyclic nature of the Eddic eschatology. Siemck says that Hodma Misholt should not be understood literally as a wood or even a forest in which the two keep themselves hidden, but rather as an alternative name for the world tree Yggdrasil. Thus, the creation of mankind from tree trunks is repeated after the Ragnarök as well. Siemck says that in Germanic regions, the concept of mankind originating from trees is ancient, and additionally points out legendary parallels in a Bavarian legend of a shepherd who lives inside a tree, whose descendants repopulate the land after life there had been wiped out by plague. In addition, Siemck points to an Old Norse parallel in the figure of Arvaroddr, who is rejuvenated after living as a tree man. Misbil, Heliand, and Christianity. Theories have been proposed about the relation to Ragnarök paragraph K in the 9th century Old High German epic poem Mispili about the Christian Last Judgment, where the word Mispil appears, and the 9th century Old Saxon epic poem Heliand about the life of Christ, where various other forms of the word appear. In both sources, the word is used to signify the end of the world through fire. Old Norse forms of the term also appear throughout accounts of Ragnarök paragraph K, where the world is also consumed in flames, and, though various theories exist about the meaning and origins of the term, its etymology has not been solved. Proto-Indo-European Basis. Parallels have been pointed out between the Ragnarök paragraph K of the Norse pagans and the beliefs of other related Indo-European peoples. Subsequently, theories have been put forth that Ragnarök paragraph K represents a later evolution of a Proto-Indo-European belief along with other cultures descending from the Proto-Indo-Europeans. These parallels include comparisons of a cosmic winter motif between the Norse Fimbulvinter, the Iranian Buntushn and Yima. Vardagriar's stride has been compared to the Vedic god Vishnu in that both have a cosmic stride with a special shoe used to tear apart a beastly wolf. Larger patterns have also been drawn between final battle events in Indo-European cultures, including the occurrence of a blind or semi-blind figure in final battle themes, and figures appearing suddenly with surprising skills. Volcanic eruptions. Hilda Ellis Davidson theorizes that the events in Var paragraph Luspa occurring after the death of the gods may be inspired by the volcanic eruptions on Iceland. Records of eruptions on Iceland bear strong similarities to the sequence of events described in Var paragraph Luspa, especially the eruption at Loki that occurred in 1783. Bertha Philpotts theorizes that the figure of Surtr was inspired by Icelandic eruptions, and that he was a volcano demon. Surtr's name occurs in some Icelandic place names, among them the lava tube cave Sitchula, a number of dark caverns in the volcanic central region of Iceland. Bergbaa 3/4 attr. Parallels have been pointed out between a poem spoken by a Jar paragraph Tun found in the 13th century a 3/4 attr. Bergbaa 3/4 attr. In the tale, Thor Qubd and his servant get lost while traveling to church in winter, and so take shelter for the night within a cave. Inside the cave they hear noises, witness a pair of immense burning eyes, and then the being with burning eyes recites a poem of 12 stanzas. The poem the being recites contains references to Norse mythology and also prophecies. Surtr's fire receives a mention in stanza 10. John Lindo says that the poem may describe a mix of the destruction of the race of giants and of humans, as in Ragnarök paragraph K, but that many of the predictions of disruption on Earth could also fit the volcanic activity that is so common in Iceland. Modern influence. In February 2014, numerous international news agencies reported that Ragnarök paragraph K was predicted to occur on February 22, 2014. These media reports extend from comments made by Daniela Daglan of the Jorvik Viking Centre, a British museum, in connection to an annual event held by the museum in late February. The Jorvik Viking Centre Festival. Daglan served as director of the event. Notes. References.